Hello everybody! I am back today with some Hogwarts house recommendations. Today we're going to do Slytherin. I got some good ones for ya, so let's get into it. First, I thought I would read some of the words, the adjectives that go along with Slytherin. So some words include ambitious, cunning, resourceful, and I have 4 book recommendations for you. The first one is the obvious bet, so you might have seen it coming, and that is Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. It has all the Slytherin things. It has several Slytherin characters. It's all about planning, strategy, lies, manipulation, politics, all these things that I think would be so juicy for a Slytherin. Like, I think they'd be all up in that kind of drama and action that's a good mix between like in the mind and also in reality, and how, you know, you have to have all these moves and counter moves. I think they would just really dig that. Then we have In Cold Blood by Truman Capote. I imagine that Slytherins would be really into true crime. In Cold Blood is kind of like the OG classic of true crime. It has Truman Capote, who's like this famous classic literature author, but he researches this murder of an entire family, and how well researched I think Slytherins would appreciate, but also getting in the mind, the psychology of these 2 killers and laying out before you the timeline of what happened, I think is a very Slytherin thing. I think they would be really into the ins and outs of kind of the darker side, the darker nature of humanity. Even if they're law-abiding Slytherins, I think they will always be intrigued by that darker element, that dark side, if you will, and this would be the book for them. Then we have Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. Now, this is a little pivot, if you will, from the other 2 recommendations, but it fits very well because I think that Slytherins, because of their ambitious nature, because of how resourceful they are, they care about success and getting ahead and doing well at whatever they set their mind to. I think they would be really interested to understand the dynamic of like what makes certain people successful and what makes certain people ultra mega successful. Like, what are the ins and outs? What are the variables that can be controlled? What are the variables that can't be controlled? And kind of the weird luck factor in it. But like breaking that down, I think would be very fascinating to this Hogwarts house and their peoples. Last, we have The Girls by Emma Cline. This is a fiction book, but it's inspired by Charles Manson and the murders that he orchestrated. And so this is, again, a very psychological book because there's that cult murder element to it. And then you have that reflection because you have one of the girls in present day now is an old lady having this whole situation during this one summer play out. I think that ability to manipulate for good or for evil is something that Slytherin would be drawn to in their reading. I think it's something that would really entice them to be like, what makes someone a leader? What makes them follow this person and commit acts they normally wouldn't? You know, that analysis of mindset and human nature, I think, is very compelling material for a Slytherin. So there you have it. Those are my top 4 recommendations. I would love to hear down below if you agree. Do you think these books are good Slytherin recommendations? What other books would you add to this list? I would love to know. Tell me down below, and I'll see you next time. Bye!